What's good, Cowboy Nation? You tuned in to Repping the Star with Jason Sibley. Before I dive into everything, first, I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers, those that are following, commenting, liking the page. If you're not, go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and hit that like. Go ahead and leave a comment. But let's dive into it. So we have Week 16, Cowboys against the Lions at AT&T Stadium. Um, it's a big week for us. And I understand there's not a lot of happy Cowboy fans right now. Seems like a lot of people are ready to hit the panic button, thinking that, oh, well, we've seen this story before. It's going to be a one and done for the Cowboys. And I get it. When you have back to back losses, it kind of some of the air kind of gets let out, and I get it. I'm gonna tell you I was feeling Sunday after the Miami game, and how I'm feeling today is two different things. Because I'm gonna tell you, the Miami game was a gut punch. Losing to Buffalo, I said before, losing to Buffalo was one of those things. Like, the game was over before it was over. You kind of accepted it. You kind of wanted to hurry up and end to take us out of our misery. But the game with Miami, it was the silly things that cost us that game. You know what I mean? Whether it's fumbling on the goal line, officials calling a play or a penalty on a play that nobody understood how that was a roughing the passer, face mask, just silly things that happen. And when it was all said and done, 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter, you took the lead, and all you needed was one more defensive stop, and you could have won the game. And so those are the games that really bother me, because those are the games that you cannot let go. Those are the games that you have to win those type of games. Now, granted, there are times where you're just going to get beat. The other team just came out here and outplayed you, and I honestly don't feel like Miami outplayed us. I felt like if we would have some of those things not happen, then we would have walked away with a victory. We can even say, hey, if there wasn't a fumble at the goal line, we would, losing by 2 yards would be impossible. Or we could sit there and say, hey, if the defense would have just made one last stand in the fourth quarter, we walk away with a victory. 1 point victory, but hey, you win. It doesn't matter. As a win is a win. But and I've been going back and forth with a few people, because I find it comical. With people tend to have a lot to say about the Cowboys. Opposing fans. A lot about the Cowboys, about this and that. But I'm one of those people who I say, hey, any given Sunday, any given Monday, any given Saturday, doesn't matter. Any given Thursday, there's a lot of teams that go through humblings. Monday, 49ers went through a humbling against the Ravens. Philly, went through humblings, 3 games losing streak. KC seems like they're going through a humbling. Most teams, unless you're the Baltimore Ravens, have gone through a humbling. And so I find it kind of comical that it seems like a lot of people are coming out and just like, oh, the Cowboys got whooped, Cowboys did it. What did your team do? You know what I mean? And that's my thing. Is like, you can't talk unless you got an undefeated team, and then we'll say bravo to your team. But all these people, like, somebody even said, they said, oh, the Cowboys got whooped by Miami, and I was like, whooped. We got whooped by 49ers. We got whooped by the Bills. We lost against Miami. We should have won that game. We lost. You take that as L, but I wouldn't say we got whooped when you hold their running backs to 50 yards. You know what I mean? When you hold their star wide receiver under 100 yards. I don't say that we got whooped. We lost that game. But it's everybody's opinion is very selective, and most of the time it's biased. But I'm not one of those fans who is panicking right now. I just feel like right now it is very crucial time, and it's a time where we are going to have to. And unfortunately, to even have to say this, but like, because you wouldn't think in week 16 you have to still say this, but there's a lot of things we need to tweak and fix. We need to repair a lot of stuff, and you're about to go into the playoffs. You shouldn't be trying to figure some stuff out, but here we are. Big week. So we have some injuries, 2 injuries that I'm really paying close attention to, because they're major injuries. Tyron Smith, Jonathan Hankins. Tyron Smith advised reporters that his back is feeling fine. He said after a week off, it's calmed down. So I'm hoping to see Tyron Smith on the field. But being that it's a short week, Cowboys play Saturday. Um, that's my concern is he going to be ready by the time it's game time Saturday? Jonathan Hankins also advised that he's feeling better, but again, you have to think along the lines of high ankle sprain. Are you going to be able to really produce? Are you really going to be yourself? Are we getting a healthy Hankins? Are we just going to get Hankins to sit there and say, "Hey, we need you, so we just going to put you out there"? Now, the run defense did, like I said, where we kept HN and Mozart out, reduced to limited yards. That was without Hankins, but I feel like with Hankins, we're going to need that because we're about to face Montgomery and Gibbs, and these are two great running backs. And so I feel like if we have Jonathan Hankins in our, it looks like I'm not saying our run defense has been solved. I'm just saying it looked better from Buffalo to Miami. Adding Hankins in there, I would feel more comfortable. This is going to be a really big matchup, and part of me is optimistic since we are playing at home. I know we just lost two, but we are playing at home, and it seems like we play better at home, and I get it. I would love to sit there and say we play better on the road, but we don't. It is what it is. So I'm hoping that that's going to work in our favor. And I hope that maybe the Cowboys, they have something to prove right now. Not only to the fans, to the NFL, but mainly to themselves. Like they have to sit there and say, "Hey, what we've done and what we've shown on the field is not who we are." And I hope that this is the game that they do that on. Because after this one is Washington, and I really didn't think that we would have to be playing our starters by the time Washington came about. But at this point, to win the division and seeding, it seems like the last two games are going to count this season. So it is what it is. But this Lions team, like I mentioned, two great running backs. So our run defense, we need to copy and paste whatever we did against Miami and do it again here, because we're going to need it. Jared Goff, I give him credit. He's a good quarterback, but at the same token, Jared Goff is still the Jared Goff that we've known him to be. Pressure in his face, he's going to make ill-advised throws. I mean, that's most QBs, but he's not somebody who I would fear. I would fear more of the run game than I would about the QB. They also have St. Brown, great wide receiver. I'm telling you, was able to watch a few of his games. It's a remarkable running wide receiver. So they have talent, and also on defense. Aiden Hutchinson. I remember I went and saw the Lions game in person last season. At A&T Stadium. That was the game that Dak just got back from his broken thumb. And I'm gonna tell you, Hutchinson was a monster. Like watching that in real time, like I was in the suite, so you were right up in the action. That's a big boy, and like he's skilled. He's very athletic, so he's going to be somebody who we have to keep our eye out for. So Tyron Smith, like we may need you, but I think that in this game, for the keys to victory in this particular game, I feel like is going to be the pressure on the QB, and maintaining the run. That's going to be our key. That's one key. The second key would be on our offense. This game, I don't necessarily say it's going to be a Tony Pollard game or Dwaddle game. This defense has only given up probably like 3.7 yards per rush. So, but the thing that's probably going to sit there, Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb are probably going to have some of their biggest games. The reason why is because this team likes to play the single high, and they like to play man to man. Well, Dak Prescott plays exceptionally well in both. And I feel like CeeDee Lamb being out there, because if they got that single high out there and CeeDee Lamb is able to sit there and get them yards, let's go. Like CeeDee Lamb, if he does not get 150 yards in this game, I'm going to be shocked. The only thing that would change where he's not able to do it, well, there's two. The first reason would be the way the last game went in Miami, where there were two quarters and you didn't hear nothing from CeeDee Lamb. We didn't target him at all. That's one way. And the second way would be that Dak Prescott did not have the time in the pocket in order to make those throws. But I feel like CeeDee Lamb is going to eat in this game. I feel like Dak Prescott is going to eat in this game. Go ahead and put both if you in your starting lineups. If you're playing fantasy football, they are going to eat this week against this defense. They will. They are going to pressure Dak. I do see him probably scrambling, extending plays, but I think in the secondary, we are going to, the way they play defense, I feel like there's going to be a lot of yards to be able to get. So, what do I say with this particular game? Oh, before I even go into my predictions, penalties is going to play a huge part. We cannot get we cannot give them free downs. We cannot extend their drives. We are going to have to play disciplined football, and it seems like that is the thing that I've been saying every single week that we play a team. Stop with the stupid penalty. Stop with the I get it. Sometimes these refs are it is what it is. Like there's they don't play. They don't call a consistent game. But at the end of the day, do not leave it in the ref's hands. That could be a deciding factor. Minimize the penalties. That's the key to success. What do I say? Who's going to win this game? It's always going to be. I'm gonna say the Cowboys. Cowboys are going to win it, but I feel very confident in this matchup. I'm not taking anything away from this Lions team, but I honestly feel like on paper, the better team is the Cowboys. Talent wise, the better team is the Cowboys. And we're being at home and, just trying to overcome a lot of adversity. I feel like the Cowboys are going to have a statement win this Saturday. My projections would be that the Cowboys win this one 34-24. I feel like that'll be a solid win for the Cowboys. I feel like we're going to see some splash plays from Dak. We're going to see some splash plays from Lamb, maybe even Cooks, Ferguson. But I think this is going to be that one that we sit there and kind of get that relief where we say, hey, all right, we had a few rough weeks, but now all of a sudden we get this dub. So hopefully I'm right about it. We can get back into the winning column. I think I told one of my good friends not too long ago that I said this maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago that the Cowboys are probably going to finish this season 12-5. And the more and more this season is progressing, that's exactly where it looks like, because I honestly feel like we can win this game Saturday and then win last against Washington. Guess what? We're 12-5. So that's still a winning record. And if Mike McCartney got 12-5 the last 3 seasons as the head coach, I'd say he did a phenomenal job. Yes, we want more wins, less losses, but at the end of the day, I've been a fan since back when we were 8-8, 1-8. One in 15 or something. I've been a Cowboy fan when things weren't always good. Where we could not, we were just a 500 team. And so I love the fact that if we are able to finish the season at 12-5, which I'm really confident and optimistic that we will, I say we still had a productive season. Now, what really is going to make me feel like we had a successful season is what we do in the playoffs. But let's just take it one game at a time. Y'all chill out. No need to hit the panic button just yet. Let's just see how this season plays. So, Cowboys, Lions Saturday. I'll be back with y'all with the reaction. Until then, y'all take care of each other. Peace.